You've gathered the survivors, what few there were. Your friend may have betrayed you, but you're left now with a small strike team. You've gathered up all the supplies you can in the cheese caves. There's only one crate left of cheddar and Swiss. You don't know how long it's going to last you, even with your dwindled numbers. You only have one choice. You must take half your rations and sacrifice to the great young ones. And then you must begin your Gouda hunt. Welcome to Scion Godsend. I'm not sorry. The cheese caves have been on my mind ever since I've heard about them. We are only dealing with two announcements today. One being the fact that it is indeed still Legend Lore Month for November. On Indie Press Revolution, you can find all the Legend Lore stuff up to like 90% off PDFs at DriveThruRPG. I'll throw the link in the chat when the recap is getting squared away. The second announcement, of course, is that Scion God has been fully backed. The campaign on BackerKit is over. It ended out with $121,438 and 2,200 backers, which means we have more information on Titanic Apotheosis, so that's going to be a fucking nightmare for Gideon. I can't wait to see the shaking of the world, the cracking of whole mountains. We also have some more insight coming with the stretch goal being reached for full-on dragons, that's God-tier dragons, and upgrading Mythos Scions to God-tier as well. So I'm hyped. I was literally refreshing the last 2 days. I think the last 2 days, like 10 grand, just gradually over the course of 48 hours, we're just streaming in. It was so cool. Scion definitely has a great fan base, and I love you guys very much. Again, I have nothing to do with this project. I'm just a giant fan, and the internet proved that it's still good. They're still good on the internet, in some of the corners. But with that being said, I have no more announcements besides thank you so much. I look forward to it, because if I had to make Scions God tier dragons and God tier Mythos Scions, it was going to get real janky real quick. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and meet our Scions, shall we?
Hey guys, Charles here. Aside from spelunking for cheese, you probably might not be able to hang with us. If you do, you're probably going to end up with a noose around your neck.
Yeah, Gideon Danger, now considering a life as the avatar of student debt relief.
Hello. Now that I have made you aware of how your brain does not care for you, I would like to draw attention to something within your own consciousness. The French call it the call to the void. It's that feeling you have whenever you think, man, I hate my boss so much I could just kill them. When you're standing on a precipice and are going to and think, jump. I urge you to follow that. It's trying to help you wake up.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, good luck.
So hopefully this next little bit of advice is useful for those of you in college, kind of trying to keep the theme going with at least something related to the episode here, because unless we are going to the cheese caves today, if you're having difficulty with finances and what have you, there's a very special rule that should be able to help you. If you can draw a little bit, go ahead and Google Rule 34 for more.
To society, we do not condone you listening to the call to the void, nor do we condone I mean, we're not going to king shame. Do what you want. Google Rule 34 if you want, but for the love of God, just I feel like we're definitely going to get a talking to.
Technically, we're on the internet based on Rule 34.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No,
No,
don't do that.
Oh my God.
You can't fucking
Jesus Christ. We're gonna jump into today's episode of Scion Godsend. Gregor, give me a recap. While I post links in the chat.
All right. You asked for it. Okay. So, we traveled to Miskatonic University in a completely normal and mundane way. Of course, if you watched, you would know I'm a liar and possibly a thief, but that doesn't matter. The second part, at least. As Gideon proceeded to do what Gideon does, everything a bit extra, and dug a literal trench in the world and caused terrible, horrible damage to the highway. To go to Miskatonic University, all the way to Miskatonic University. Then we split up. Charles was doing Charles things, and he met Charles, who or he reunited with Charles, and Chum Chum, was it? That was Chum Chum, yes.
Chum Chum.
Chum Chum. He met with Charles and Chum Chum. Thalis didn't really do anything of note besides arrange a party that got Danny DeVito and Mark Wahlberg, in hopes of starting a good old-fashioned college party. Gideon, as his intro suggested, decided to help people with college debt. He made an enemy of some sorcerer who he's probably going to ruin later on, because let's face it, it's Gideon. And our good friend Majin was taken away by campus security with his gun. Hopefully he'll get out of that, but who knows. And meanwhile, I went to the library and did some research on the king. Found some weaknesses. Found a dig site. Probably going to lead somewhere terrible. Got an invitation to join the King in Yellow through a book that he wrote over 100 years ago. So, good fun. Kind of stuff that you would expect with those people. But if I recall correctly, we were about to have that party and then head out if we can get MAJIN without ruining him. Oh, and Gideon thought Chum Chum was a sentient creature.
Suspect. Highly suspect.
Indeed. I would like to take the time
sock puppet.
To let you guys know, we have the trackers back. We are at 5 momentum. We are going to be beginning with 6 at the start of MAJIN's scene. We're going to be jumping in with MAJIN, and there will be this will bring us up to 6 momentum, 2 collateral, and however, we will be beginning with 0 tension, as I have spent it.
Oh no.
So
We're endangered.
let's jump into it. MAJIN, you have been escorted by a campus security officer to the security office. And the whole issue was that you had brought a firearm onto Miskatonic University's campus property, which is kind of a big deal. The campus security guard that was walking with you insisted that he take your firearm, to which you replied, "No, I'll go with you. I'm not gonna give you my weapon, though." So we join you now in that office. You are sat inside of a sort of lobby area. There's a couple security guards kind of just watching you while they begin some paperwork in order to begin their process of speaking with you. Is there anything you'd like to do or say to these security officers that are kind of keeping an eye on you?
Can I have Burger King? A burger of some kind?
I mean, you can feel free to Postmates. We're not gonna...
But isn't that what y'all do? Is like y'all bring people in and make them comfy and bring them food?
What? Do you have experience? Is that the experience you've had so far?
I mean, yeah. The last, I don't know, 4 times. That's what they did.
4 times. Yeah, Jim, make sure to rerun this guy's record. And you can see Jim, who's kind of on typing on the computer, kind of looks up and just nods. MAJIN, on a cursory glance through police database and criminal database, what would they find on your record?
Maybe like some extortion type stuff, assault,
Disorderly conduct.
Yeah, disorderly conduct. You know, making loud noises and stuff like that.
Do you have any warrants out for your arrest, MAJIN?
Oh, I don't know. How was I supposed to know?
Do you know of any warrants out for your arrest?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Jim is running your record. These other two are just kind of keeping an eye, and they say, we don't have a fund just to buy Burger King for people that we bring in. That's not what we do. We're not.
Y'all have a whole cafeteria, don't y'all? Like, this is a school, right?
Yeah, but we're not like.
Well, what's on the menu for the cafeteria?
Depends on which dining hall you're looking at. The other security guard kind of looks at him and says, Are you really doing this right now? Well, he's asking.
Well, just get me what y'all get, I guess. I'd appreciate it.
You can hear
no onions, though.
One of the security guard officers in the back kind of speaks up and says, I was going to go on a lunch run. He says, we're not going on a lunch run for a criminal.
Why am I a criminal? There's a thing called due process.
You brought a firearm onto a college campus. You realize it's a federal crime, correct?
I mean, it's not like I could really help it. It's stuck on me. I take it everywhere I go. I just left the airport with this thing on. I flew on an airplane with it on. Granted, it was a private one, but you know.
Where did you fly to?
Japan. Yeah.
You can see kind of their eyes kind of like flash toward one another, and
I'm pretty sure they have like a whole countrywide thing on guns. But I kept it.
You see, you broke international law. Okay. We're just... Okay. One of them steps away, seemingly to go and make a phone call.
I'm really the last one, that y'all want to be talking to. Like, I'm the least of y'all worries. I'm telling y'all that.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I'll just chill out. Y'all got, I don't know, Netflix or something.
One of them kind of goes over and turns the television on. There's another news story. Not necessarily international news, but it looks like people are releasing statements, and there's a flash of like different like Twitters that are going on of screenshots and such like that, where people are commenting, or rather posting their thoughts and prayers and their well wishes toward Nintendo over in Japan and the people that may have been injured. There's a lot
let's just change that. That's
the one of the security officers kind of changes and says, "Yeah, I don't understand what went on over there. Like, were you there for that?"
Well, it happened right after I left. Yeah.
Wild, absolutely wild. I don't understand. Nintendo's such a good company. I don't understand why people would want to attack that.
And hopefully he doesn't destroy one of the buildings here. So it's all good.
What?
Oh, what is that? CNN? No, don't change that. You got Cartoon Network on here?
MAJIN, give me a roll to kind of skirt over that slip up, if indeed it was a slip up. I would think social manipulation.
Social manipulation.
And then whatever skill you would like.
Yeah. I got persuasion.
Works for me.
Would that work? 3 successes.
3 successes. You he seems to kind of like look you over for a second and then just, oh yeah, no, we don't watch CNN in this house.
No.
Kind of flipping through channels. It's a lot of news networks. Eventually you get to like talk shows, and then further past that you get to like soap operas. It's in the middle of the day. Seems to still be that closed network television.
I'll just relate with them. Maybe show them the pictures of me and the, guys I've taken pictures with and stuff, and just hang out. Really
awesome. What do you show them so far? Because you've taken pictures with a few gods so far. I can think of Shalotl. I can think of
Shalotl. Who was it? Osiris. Was it Osiris that we met?
Anubis.
I believe you guys did.
Anubis.
Yeah, you guys took a picture with Anubis. I don't believe you guys took a picture with Hades. I think
Wasn't Persephone there?
I think Persephone may have taken a
Yeah,
picture. with you
they
guys,
got a
if I
picture
correct.
with Persephone. I remember Persephone. I don't, but not Hades.
Yeah,
Hermes.
Hermes.
We should really write this down somewhere.
Hercules and
the Keepers.
yeah, the Keepers. Yeah.
Hercules, Ptolemy. Yeah, you get their attention kind of quickly with that. There's you get the sense that it's not common for them to see this level of interaction between gods. Gods, children's, and like demigods and such, and created and chosen are pretty common, but gods themselves being that close, even to incarnations, is pretty rare, especially in the everyday human being's life.
Well, we're all special, I'm just saying, like, really, they're just like, drawn out celebrities. So don't worry about it too much. But it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Was the little black, that's Shalotl, you said?
Yeah. I think, I don't know. No, only one of them died that day. But yeah, he was cool about it.
Wild, absolutely wild. I hear there's a lot of weird, like, Shalotl's an underworld deity, yeah?
I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't scary at all? Like, that wasn't like... They weren't, like,
not in the
spooky?
moment. I mean, that's what brought him there, because we accidentally killed the dude, and another dude, like, raised him or called for him, and then he came, and he was pretty cool. He was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Someone comes from the back room and says, "Excuse me, we're ready for you back here."
Oh, okay. Do I got to take my pants off?
What?
Like, is this like the inspection TSA type deal? Is that what y'all do here?
We're you understand we're not, like, we're just an arm of the police, right? We're not campus police. It's not.
Y'all are fake police?
Still police officers. We still have an office in the police department.
Do y'all even have guns?
We don't. You can't carry a gun on campus.
Y'all don't have guns? Oh my. Well, I'm just saying, for like, if I wasn't such, like,
Get in the interrogation room.
I'm just okay. All right. If I was a different guy, I'm just saying I'm the one with the gun.
There's a few people a few of the other security guards that you were kind of just showing pictures to, just kind of chuckle a little bit.
I'll go into the security office.
Yeah, you do this. They set you up in this interrogation area. It looks like it's just a table on the back, or a seat on one side and another seat on the other. There's no glass or anything that would be considered as a two-way mirror or anything like that. There's just a recording device in the center. One of them comes in after you with a file. Looks like just a plain manila file. It says, quite a sheet you've got and a lot of history.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to waste all the paper. Could have kept it digitally, but whatever.
We like to keep a physical record in case anything goes wrong. And it's good that we have you on file now.
Okay.
So, Ezra, can I call you Ezra?
No.
What would you prefer?
MAJIN is fine.
MAJIN. It's a club name, yes?
Sure. What my friends call me.
Part of the Rolling Nomads.
Right on the back.
Not a particularly well-known club from what I can see. Not even really a home, what do you guys call it? Church, base, clubhouse?
I mean, they call us nomads for a reason, so.
What brings you to Miskatonic University, MAJIN?
Education, knowledge.
Looking to get your degree?
No. Well, maybe botany or something. I don't know. Not right now, though.
You said that you weren't the one we needed to worry about. What did you mean by that?
I'm just saying, there's things going on. CNN, Japan stuff. Shit is crazy these days. I'm just saying, I'm speaking on my character. I'm not one to cause trouble. That's all.
MAJIN, go ahead and give me a roll. I'm going to call this anything in your mental arena and anything for your skill for law, how this process would normally go.
Finesse and culture?
I like it, yeah. So a cunning culture roll.
Four successes.
4 successes. They have begun this process right off the bat, just beginning to question you. If they are truly an arm of the police department, you would need to have a lawyer present. You can demand a lawyer. You don't have to answer any questions.
That's fine. I mean, none of this is usable, right? Because, there was no rights read or anything like that,
As far as you are aware, with that many amount of successes, and some of the history that you've already been a part of, you weren't read your rights. So you technically haven't even been arrested. You may have been apprehended, which is a lower form of arrest. But they can't keep you. You technically can walk out. Granted, they can at any moment say you're under arrest because of the firearm on your person, but they have yet to do so. So what's with the gun?
Shoots. Bullets.
Why bring it to a college campus? Were you looking to cause any trouble? Were you expecting any trouble?
No, I just, like I said, it's knowledge. It's strapped to me. I can't, this is divine bondage here,
Would you care to expand on that?
Oh, go ahead, take it off me.
You're giving me permission to put my hands on you.
Well, don't say it like that.
But for clarification.
Yeah, just don't, be weird about it.
The officer gets up, walks over to your side of the table, and begins to try to unholster your weapon and take the weapon off your person. MAJIN takes some narrative control. What happens?
It just holds. It locks in place. Maybe a slight glow or a very low vibration you'll feel to it, but it doesn't move.
He tugs and tugs and. So this is a divine weapon.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
You're not registered as a Scion. You're aware of that on your record, correct?
I mean, I don't know. I just kind of, float around. I drive. That's
Contrary to your record, however, we found some interesting footage of you racing one more prominent deity of speed and messaging.
yeah, that was cool.
So I'm assuming either not mortal or a powerful sorcerer.
No, I mean, I'm a Scion.
But
Yeah.
you didn't see fit to register in your home state.
Well, I'm a man of the world, or a Scion of the world, so to speak. I just drive places. I'm a minimalist, and I don't really have a home. Earth is my home. So
I see. Where is home for you, though, Majin? If the Earth is your home, where do you hang your hat?
wherever I, stop for the night.
So you are confirmed a Scion, correct?
Yeah.
May I ask which deity?
Does it matter?
For our records, it does.
Why are you keeping a record on me?
We keep all records of any incursions on our soil.
So y'all want me to leave?
Just wanted to understand why a Scion of such popular magnitude. Again, there was footage of you racing a prominent deity and winning, no less.
I don't know why you're omitting his name. That's weird. But yeah.
We just want to know what we're in store for, especially a Scion coming in with a firearm is cause for concern. We wanted to understand why and what your purpose is.
I am here just to learn some knowledge, learn some things, maybe have a drink, some fun, and leave. I'm pretty sure we're going to leave, in a couple of hours.
That still doesn't quite answer the question of what your business is here, Motion. Fun? Is that... It's very quite
Do
broad.
research, my man. I've answered your question. We're reading some books. We're going to drink some beer. All right? Play some PlayStation. What else you want from me?
Why Miskatonic University?
I don't know. It's a cool name, and it's on the way to fucking New York somewhere. Where are we? What state is this?
Massachusetts.
Yeah, we're pretty close to New York.
If you excuse me, would you like some coffee?
I would like Burger King, but it's whatever.
Let me see what I can do. Give me one moment, please. He steps outside, leaving you in this room alone. This recording device. Again, no two-way mirror or anything like that. There is one small camera in the corner.
I tell the camera I'm gonna go watch TV, and I go back to the room to watch TV.
You go to open the door. It is locked.
Son of bitches. You son of a bitch. All right. I guess I'll just chill out for a little bit. I'm not trying to cause trouble.
While this is going on, Majin, we'll get back to you very shortly. We'll catch you up very shortly. We're going to rejoin Charles, Gideon, Gregor, and Thalis, who we're all together, along with not Charles, who has his hand held with the puppet of Chum Chum by Gideon. And as of note, Gideon, I missed your legend stuff last session. I believe you want to expand on that.
Yeah. So, because I because I compelled my fate binding, I need to determine whether or not I accomplished a milestone. So I just need you to roll my legend plus the strength of the binding, which is 1, and the legend at the time was 3. So 4 dice, please. So I'm just kind of stacking these up until I reach the number of milestones that I need to reach, which in this case would be 2.
Understood. So your legend plus you said your fate binding?
Yeah. So at the time, my legend was 3, and the fate binding strength is 1.
Copy. So that is 4 with a 10. Oh, geez, 5. Yep. So 5 successes on that.
Okay. So yeah, I will increase the strength of my fate binding by 1, and I will reset my milestones.
Excellent.
I will continue holding Chum Chum aloft, and I'm attempting to break its will and get it to confess as to its true nature and its business here and how long it's been spying on us.
You see the puppet, this creature, sort of kind of dip its head and just look like flail a little bit and say, "I'm just a monkey, man. Relax."
You're not a monkey. That's a monkey. I'll point to Chim Chim.
Chim Chim kind of like brushes his chest off a little bit and just, or doesn't say much. He just kind of straightens himself a little bit.
Chim Chim, don't be rude about it.
You're an abomination.
It's kind of rude to say to someone you first met.
I will look at Charles, not Charles. What do you make of this thing?
Looks like Chum Chum.
That doesn't answer my question. I feel like it should not be permitted to exist.
Look,
Why?
if it's based on just how I look, I mean, I know I don't look like a regular monkey, but I like to think of myself as friend-shaped, man.
So I'm going to clamp my hand over its mouth. I don't know if that's going to silence it really, because like I think it's a lot. So I'm going to try to shut it up.
Okay.
But if it keeps talking, then I'm going to get really confused.
Just starts going,
I'll be with you in a moment.
Well, through a bunch of weird stuff whenever I met Gregor's dad, Charles, Leon over there, was spawned into existence. I imagine he made Chum Chum as sort of like a pseudo Chim Chim.
There's like a poor copy. Huh.
I don't know about poor, but yes.
I look once again at Chim Chim, and I say, "Would you say this is a poor copy?" And I'll shake the muffled sock monkey at it.
Chim Chim nods, and then kind of like looks like narrows its eyes at Chum Chum, and then just kind of like spits off to its left.
Find your representation insulting. You should make moves to address that, not Charles.
Not Charles kind of looks and says, "Yeah, we'll work on it, man.
I suggest you make it a priority.
We'll do."
Why don't you just go and steal a monkey from a zoo?
I was gonna do that, and I don't know, man.
And then you could put Chum Chum on top of that monkey.
I get distracted. I don't know where zoos are.
Charles, have you completed your business here?
Yes.
And it looked like THALIS was basically making sure that all of the present and accounted for students were also coming to his party, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They're all invited.
So should we not begin moving to whatever this soiree is?
Yeah, that sounds great. Can't go in through the front door, though. I'm going to grab the flyer off the window and be like, I think I'm going to go see what this is about.
Gregor, did you get what you needed?
All good here.
What is our next move to deal with this yellow fellow?
Presumably going there and destroying the Avatar.
Going.
New York. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Carnegie Hall.
Oh, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. then. Could have sworn it was 8, but Carnegie Hall. Late in the afternoon.
Your
Tomorrow.
memory's better than mine.
I guess I'll put my mask on, and well, my mask was already on. I guess I'll just fall in behind Thalis and.
Gideon, you release Chum Chum.
Oh yeah, I let him go, and I basically told not Charles to make it a priority to come up with a better version of it.
Excellent.
Because Chum Chum finds it insulting.
You can see not Charles and Chum Chum kind of like hops down not Charles's shoulder and into his cargo pocket. When not Charles withdraws his hand, Chum Chum is not present. Not Charles leans into you, Charles, and says, "Dude, Majin got really, really intense. Is he good?"
That's not Majin. That's Gideon.
Okay.
I can't even stress how much effort it took to not just go along with that.
Why don't you just call him not Majin?
Is Majin good? Where's
That's a good
Majin?
question. That's a good question. I'm gonna call Majin. He was taken away by security. He should have wormed his way out by now.
Let's just go to the security.
Let's not do that, lest they think we're sieging them.
Majin, your phone begins to ring. They have not confiscated your phone.
I'll answer it. As I do, I'll cut off the recording devices.
Excellent. You're seen, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey, have you managed to worm your way out of there yet?
No, they got me locked in this interrogation room.
What?
Is it on
To be
screen?
honest, they got a lot more information on me than I'm comfortable with. Definitely for some people that are like, not real cops,
Yeah, that's fair. We're best case scenario. We can work on scrubbing you later, if you want.
Gregor, let me talk to him.
I mean, doesn't matter, but
Nah, if they were able to find that, I imagine I'll be able to find more, given that they ain't even real cops. Well, Charles, talk with the puppy dog guys. I'll let you talk to him once I'm done. When you're done, they're doing a party later. What was that address, Thalis?
I'll give him the address.
Got it. 123 Party Boulevard. They're doing a party later at that address. If you manage to squeeze out in time. Apparently, Danny DeVito and this guy Mark Wahlberg are going to be there.
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, Thalis pulled some strings.
What time is this?
It's happening like in an hour. An hour, guys.
I'll be there.
About an hour 45.
About an hour 45 from now.
All right, I'll be there.
Cool.
Danny DeVito. Thalis knew Danny DeVito this entire time?
Apparently. I was surprised to hear it like that. Yeah. He knew Danny DeVito this entire time and did not tell us.
Fucking knew I liked that guy. Fucking weirdo. God, please. All right, yeah, I'll be there. Y'all didn't destroy anything, did y'all? Everything's safe, good to go.
I arranged for a precious tome to be ripped apart methodically.
Okay, whatever that means. No deaths.
We won't get
or
in trouble
anything
for
like
that. Yeah, no.
right?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
Unless
cool.
Thalis has a copy going around just killing people randomly. Look at Thalis. Oh, by the way, Not Charles is here too.
Hi.
I don't think I ever met Not Charles. I heard of Not Charles. I don't know.
You met Not Charles very briefly. He followed Donnie off of the building in New Orleans after you guys were expelled from Nyarlathotep's domain. You met him very, very briefly.
Are they wearing different clothes?
They are wearing different clothing, yes.
Cool. What color is Charles' shirt?
Charles?
Blue.
Not Charles.
All right,
is
Charles.
Wearing a black polo. Looks like he has taken a sort of. There's no uniform for administration or campus employees, but he looks like he's taken someone's shirt from like an event, like a Honduras studying abroad trip or something like that. It looks like he's stolen someone's studying abroad shirt.
Cool. Charles is wearing the plain blue tee, and then not Charles is wearing a black polo that apparently he's been to Honduras when we weren't looking.
Okay.
So just keep
All
that
right.
in mind. Beyond that, yeah, we'll see you there. Charles wanted to talk to you.
All right.
Not Charles holds his hand out.
I handed Charles.
Majin, what are you doing?
They're interrogating me. They're asking me a bunch of
Did
questions.
they read your rights?
No, they're not real cops, so
Then just
It's
walk
not-
out.
yeah, they locked the door, and I don't want to cause property damage. That's probably what they're banking on to charge me with something,
They
So
can't
it's like
prove you did that. Did you turn off the recording devices?
I did, but it's not like
Trust
they can
me,
have.
dude. I've dealt with so many cops. Like, just walk out. They can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give them about 10 minutes, 15, then yeah, I'm gonna just open
You're
the
waiting
door
for
and
Burger
leave.
King, aren't you?
Yeah, they said they were gonna see what they could do. Yeah.
What if I bring you Burger King?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, just
cool.
I mean, they're pretty chill. Just probably watching, Disney Channel. Just come on in and yeah, that'd be cool.
Fantastic. I'll see you in a minute.
Charles,
Here you
do
go,
not.
Gregor.
Charles, do not. I urge you to not break anything, given that you want to attend the party later.
Okay.
Real cops they may not be, but party poopers they can still be.
My God.
Stop.
Yes. Exactly. So I urge you not to break anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is this group's move? Are you guys going to go bring MAJIN Burger King?
Sure.
Yeah, we can go.
I don't
back
know-
to work. We've
I don't
still got
know-
time until the party.
Yeah.
You guys stop by Burger King, grab some grub for your friend MAJIN. We're gonna rejoin MAJIN here. Is there anything before we do so that you guys discuss along the way? Anything that you guys of note?
No, I don't think so. Just get Burger King.
Yeah,
That's all we
just
really
work.
need.
Excellent. MAJIN, we rejoin you as someone enters as you are turning off your phone from the phone call and says, "You still have your phone?"
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I also turned off the recording if you want to turn that back on.
I figured it would be common courtesy not to touch those things.
Well, I didn't want y'all listening to my conversations.
You're in
That's
an
not-
interrogation room. You shouldn't even
But
have
you
your
were
phone.
interrogating me.
You shouldn't even have your phone. What is going on? He kind of leans out the door and kind of looks around a little bit. Apparently makes eye contact with someone and just stares. He's holding a paper bag, MAJIN. Doesn't look like Burger King though. It looks like just a brown bag. There's a little bit of grease stain. It says, "We didn't stop by Burger King, but there's some food for you if you'd like."
I'll open it up.
There's a couple different sandwiches. There's a chicken sandwich, there's a hamburger, and there's a fish sandwich.
I'll taste the fish sandwich.
It's a little greasy. It's quite greasy, actually. That's probably what's causing the grease stain. The hamburger and the chicken sandwich themselves seem a little bit dry. The bread a bit stale. The chicken sandwich or the fish sandwich looks a little bit more like it's probably the freshest, but it is quite greasy.
I'll put the fish sandwich back and take a bite of the other two.
Decent. Probably been sitting under a warmer for some time.
I'll put them all back and no, I'm good. I appreciate it. I got food on the way.
On the way,
Yeah.
did you actually order food?
What's that?
Did
Yeah, I
you-
order food.
Yeah. Did you Postmates
Well-
to your interrogation cell?
No, but I mean, they said I could if I wanted to.
Who the fuck told you could do that?
Your people, what do you mean?
I'll deal with that later. Let's continue. He hits the recording device again. I'm sorry. I'm still not quite understanding what exactly you're here for. You said you're here for research, to drink. I still don't quite understand what exactly Miskatonic University has to offer you if you're not here for, quite frankly, quite here for a degree or to continue your education.
I mean, y'all got libraries, right? Is that open to the public? Is this a public university?
Certain portions of the library are open to the public, yes, but from
Easy.
your file, you've never been in this part of Massachusetts before, so I'm curious as to what brought you here, especially after your awakening. What do you call it when you become as you are?
I don't know, getting my ass beat. I don't know. I don't bother with all that stuff, man. It's pointless. All this, it's pointless. I don't bother with all that. Why are you worried about that stuff anyway? You need to be worried about yourself and what you could do in this life. Everybody only has one life, as far as I know.
Would you care to expand on that?
On what?
What do you mean by worrying about myself and what I can do in this life? What exactly does that mean?
Are you living your life to the fullest? Is this what you want to be doing?
I get a great deal of satisfaction from my work, yes.
But is this what you want to be doing?
Majin, I need a roll of anything in your mental or social arena, and then whatever you would like to use to get some insight on this guy, to draw out some truth from him, to get some what lies beneath the surface.
What you want me to roll?
Anything in your mental or social arena, and then whatever skill you'd like for some insight.
I guess manipulation and persuasion.
I like it.
Three successes.
3 successes. He says, I get a great deal of satisfaction from my work. It seems forced, though. You ask him, is this what you want to do for your life? And there's a pause before he says, I'm very happy with where I am currently. And you can tell outright that's a bald-faced lie. This man is not happy.
Well, look, man. You have something that I don't. That's freedom. Freedom to choose whatever you want. If you say this is what you're meant to do in this life, then so be it. But for some reason, I get a feeling that it's not.
I don't know what gives you the impression that I'm unhappy where I am.
I don't know. Maybe it was the gritted teeth or the swallowing. I don't know.
We're not here to discuss my life path, Majin. We are here to discuss the weapon you brought onto a university campus.
I mean, I could leave. That's fine. There's supposed to be a party with Danny DeVito that I'm really hoping to get to. So
same role, Majin. I'm going to grant you a +1 enhancement to this.
5 successes.
Five successes. That also strikes a chord with him. It's not like he's getting angry, he's just getting more frustrated with, it seems. With 5 successes, you can probably tell your lackadaisical responses, the aloofness of your being right now is probably frustrating to him because he wants to be taken seriously, but he seems jealous almost. Like there's a history that he has that he could have been on a similar path to you. Name dropping Danny DeVito is a bit of a flex. You're probably coming off as living a very lavish life. You're probably coming off as living a very carefree and honestly a very interesting and cool life to this guy. There's probably a past that he had that could have led him down a different path than being a stick in the mud, but he's being a stick in the mud.
Are you good?
I'm fine, Majin. We were not aware of any guest appearance or any guest speakers that we're going to be drawing to the campus today.
Oh, I don't know if he's going to the campus. It's just a party, but yeah, man. There's no problems here. Like I said, I'll leave if you want me to. Like I said, you got something I don't. Decision is yours.
My current issue, Majin, is that you have brought a firearm onto a university campus. Under normal circumstances, would be a felony. If you can grant me some semblance of reason, some semblance of rhyme or reason why, then we can pursue this in a different route. For the time being, however, I will need to be making a report on this, which will likely lead to a felony on your record.
Look, man, like I said, it can't come off, Like I can even pull it and I'll pull it out. And I like take it out of my hand.
He flinches when you pull the weapon, and makes a grab for it, probably a little bit quicker than you would be comfortable with, and it doesn't leave your hand.
See, it's magic shit, baby. But you got some quick reflexes. Shit, I'll holster it.
I have some experience with firearms.
You prior military?
No, he turns the recording device off. I never had a record clean enough to join the military or the police force as a whole.
Is that what you wanted to do?
I wanted to make a change, and I wanted to be there for my community. That's not the first time I've seen the Nomads patch.
When was the last time? Hopefully it was good, good experience.
My former colleagues had relatively good relations with the Nomads. I don't ride anymore.
Why?
Forgive me for seeming crass, but I had a certain point where I had to grow up.
Well, I guess if you say this is childish, but
I was trying to do the right thing for my family. So, when someone wearing a patch comes onto the university with a firearm, you can understand why I'm a little bit on edge.
I mean, I get it. But all I can do is tell you that I'm not going to cause any problems.
Majin, give me either a presence or manipulation. Now, depending on how you want to go about this. Are you being genuine, or are you kind of trying to steer him toward your way of seeing things?
I'm being genuine.
Take with
yeah.
you being genuine, you can use either presence or manipulation, but it's just for my knowledge. And then whatever you'd like to push him in your direction.
Yeah, I'll use presence and persuasion. 2 successes.
2 successes. Kind of looks you over and says, "The nomads were never known to cause problems, at least, but not back in my day. I don't suppose it would be inaccurate to say in my report that the weapon is unable to leave your person. Perhaps some sort of divine curse or divine binding."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about a curse. That could be what it is. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's accurate.
Understood. Well, Majin, I don't have anything left for you. And as of time being, I'm sure that you, based on your record, understand that you were never under arrest. This is a simple apprehension and quick questioning. Now that I've got all the facts, of course you're free to go.
Cool. You got a business card or something?
I do. He reaches into his wallet and pulls out a business card.
Got a pen?
He hands you the pen he's been using to kind of make notes in your file.
I'll write my number on the back of his business card and give it to him. And be like, if you ever, just want to talk, just hit me up.
I may do that. Majin, you have a choice here to accept a fate binding. You don't have to. It is entirely your choice. Under normal circumstances, people accept a fate binding in order to regain a dot of legend, or when they feel they've made a connection to an NPC or a character that is in play. You have an option here. It's your choice. I will say that in this moment, with you not having any spent legend at all, you will regain a point of legend, and you will be basically over capacity for your legend. You will need to expend that legend in some way, either through a invocation of your divine title, or one of your abilities.
Like
go on.
Like knacks and stuff, or
Anything that says you spend a legend.
Oh, okay. Damn.
It won't have to be immediate, but just before the scene is over. The scene, since this is the closing of the new scene, I'll allow it to kind of roll over to the next scene, and then before that next scene is over, you would need to spend it. It's entirely up to you.
I mean, yeah, I'll accept the fate binding.
Understood.
Yeah.
So, with that, this character is going to be tied to you. It is up to us together in this moment to decide what kind of fate binding this is exactly. This is... so you have a choice here. This character, what we're going to decide what embodies him best. Or what fate binding condition embodies him best. You have the options of imperiled, which means this character is at risk of something. You have apprentice, which is obvious. This dude can be seen as an apprentice of sorts. Balm, meaning the character would be in the right position to calm you and to keep you centered. Canary or martyr. Canary stumbles right into problems that the Scion might otherwise miss or blunder into. Alternatively, this condition can maybe represent the martyr who is ready and willing to sacrifice for the Scion. Jinx. The Fatebound is singularly unlucky for the Scion. This might be inadvertent, like the eager would-be sidekick who always screws things up, or might be deliberate, like an angry ghost that has cursed a Scion. You have Nemesis, obvious. Rival, another obvious one. Paramour, which is you drawing to this character romantically. The Worshipper, the Fatebound stands in awe of the Scion, or the Fatebound is in love with the Scion, or who does not reciprocate. Either way, he'll do whatever he can to advance the Scion's agenda. Or the Traitor, which is another one that's kind of obvious. Did any of those stand out for you right away?
I guess maybe the first one. He's at risk of losing something. Because I feel like there's something in life he wants to achieve, and he's settling for what he has now.
I can see it. Imperiled, basically his peril would be kind of wasting his life, not pursuing his true joy and true freedom and happiness.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. So, on page 198 in the Scion Hero PDF, you'll find the description for the Imperiled, what you can do with it. We'll go over it during break, and we'll get you all squared away. But for the time being, you regain a point of legend. You feel power surge in your body. Take some narrative control. What happens to show that you are a little bit more powerful, that you've tugged on the strings of fate in such a way that you are revitalized? What is happening to MAJIN that shows that he is exuding power?
I get a cramp in my leg. Charlie horse. Shit, what the fuck was that? God damn.
I like it. Excellent. We cut over to Charles, Gideon, Gregor, and Thalis. You guys have picked up Burger King and are entering just outside of the security, the campus police department.
Do you guys ever get the feeling of karmic retribution happening to other people?
No. I don't believe in karma. Everything's terrible. I open the door. And hold it for everybody.
Choo-choo, we're here to burgle your turrets.
Are you guys all entering inside this building?
I will, yeah.
Excellent. Who is first to enter? Charles. Excellent. Immediately, as soon as you enter, Charles, and people file in behind you, campus security officers draw their tasers and say, "Jesus fucking Christ, he's back!"
You're gonna need more than that to take me down, chuckle nuts.
Do not move.
I will step in front of Charles. I don't know. I will stand in front of Charles, take my mask off, and I will say, "If you are smart enough to live, you won't commit further trespasses against us or our endeavors. Where is our friend? We're lurking for MAJIN."
We also come bearing sustenance.
Only for MAJIN. Don't offer the Burger King to them.
MAJIN,
I point at the one who drew his taser first, and I say, "You look like a tough guy, but I am a nightmare wrapped in the apocalypse. Get our friend."
MAJIN, you step out as your friends are entering, and you hear the "Jesus fucking Christ, he's back." Everyone in the main office area kind of draws their tasers. Everyone standing up from their desk has the fireable taser out and pointed at Charles. Not Charles comes in after and says, "Oh, hi guys," and then there's this kind of a split of like who to point at, and they're like, "Jesus Christ, there's two of them."
Yeah, you can't take both of us, guys.
You have one more chance to put your weapons away.
Gideon,
Empty
you
threats
see
for dreamers. And I
Majin.
fancy myself a realist.
You guys are rejoined. Gideon, I'm going to ask you for a roll. Your choice of I'm going to allow social or physical, because you are quite large, and that can play into some sort of intimidation tactic. And then, of course, whatever skill you would like.
I will allow my well, I can't really hide my mutations with taking my mask off, so I will be as menacing as possible because, well, I really don't care at this point. So I will be using might and persuasion. Yeah, might and persuasion. And I will take advantage of my +1 scary.
As a reminder, since this is technically a new scene, you guys are at 7 momentum.
Yay. Hold on to that for a little while. I don't think I'll need it for these guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, and considering I'm still muted, I will not be exercising my purviews.
Understood.
So I'll just be making the roll. So I'll go, yeah, might persuasion. So I'll be... Wait, no, that's wrong. Total pool is with 2 enhancement. Hold on, 5. Plus we have an explodey. So 6 total.
6 total. You can see a number of the that look like field officers kind of lower their weapons, not putting them away. They just kind of bring them down at the ready position. The people that were sitting at desks and writing reports and things immediately just kind of drop their stuff onto the table. They're not trained for this. They don't want to deal with you. Yeah, so you have about 3 people that still have their weapons at the ready.
Which one of them looks the most aggressive?
Likely the dude that's behind. He's kind of the main desk area where you would come up and tell them your problems and what you're here for. He's kind of crouched behind, ready to take cover and ready position. You can see that his weapon is still drawn at the ready position. He's kind of crouched down. You can see about... Actually, I'm actually the perfect... By my bottom portion, I'm cut off exactly where he would be, kind of ready to duck down and take cover before he fires. Yeah, Majin also is exiting out alongside one of the officers as well, who's standing behind him. The scene is yours, gentlemen.
Yeah, I stalked toward the desk.
Hey, Gideon. We don't need a scene. Majin's coming out. We all know that Charles is pretty much immune to bullets. Please calm down. You've had your fun.
I'm perfectly calm.
That's a fucking lie.
Now Charles kind of looks at you and says, "Dude, you're immune to bullets?"
No, I got shot up in fucking Nevada.
Take a long, hard look at Taser Man.
Hey, Taser Man, Taserface, please put your gun down. We don't mean any trouble. He is intimidating, but that's because of the captain of Scion he is.
You can see, Gideon, that he is definitely affected by your visage, but affected by the form. He's feigning confidence, but he speaks up and says, "I fought against your kind in the war. You think I'm afraid to die?"
I'd like to use step sideways to pop up behind him. Sorry.
I won't kill you. I will grind your man purse into a paste and use it as a base for my next testicle salad sandwich. Put your taser down.
Testicle salad? What?
Yeah. From behind the dude, I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and be like, "Gideon, you eat testicle salad?"
Go ahead, Gideon, go ahead and give me a roll. I'm gonna grant you an enhancement on this. I think with the threat, I think that definitely warrants a +3. Yeah. What is everyone else doing while Gideon is making this roll?
That's 6.
Copy. So the 9. Anybody doing anything else? While
No.
this is
Handing off the bag to MAJIN.
I'll take 2 bites out of it and then be like, thanks. And then pass it off to somebody else.
Neighbors.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. They fed me a little bit while I was in.
Dallas, anything from you?
I'm kind of just watching this unfold. If I need to step in, I will, but I don't think that'll be necessary.
You can see Gideon. You can't exactly. I guess you would be able to hear. You don't hear the taser drop. You can see him shift position a little bit. He speaks out again. You can see he's feigning confidence. You gather from this gentleman, he is very much not afraid to die. This dude probably has seen some shit. He probably is former military, but he's definitely not faced anything like you.
I'm not threatening to kill him. I'm threatening much, much worse.
He shifts a little bit and says, "You're in a police precinct, bud. You're surrounded. There's a dozen officers here ready to lose their lives for the good cause." You can see definitely clearly the other officers are not ready to lose their life for whatever cause this dude's talking about.
I'm not here to kill you, officer, but if you give me no choice, I will remove all hope that you will ever have for anything.
The officer that stands behind MAJIN says, "Stand down, Davis." You can hear the weapon drop. He straightens himself, never leaving eye contact with you, Gideon. He just kind of watches you. You can see the dude behind MAJIN says, "Gentlemen, what can we do for you?"
We're here to deliver Burger King.
Yep.
Get that guy.
Yeah. They're just letting me out.
Are you well?
So. Yeah, I mean, they fed me and stuff. Yeah, had a good conversation. It was cool. Yeah.
Cool. Then we can leave without making any testicle salads.
You can see
Meet Danny DeVito.
the officer standing behind MAJIN kind of looks at you, Charles, and then over to not Charles and says, "Charles, staying out of trouble, I hope." Not Charles speaks up and says, "You couldn't pay me to stay out of trouble."
I couldn't stay out of trouble even if I tried.
Does he go to school here?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Not Charles kind of speaks up and says, "Going to school is relative. I attend classes."
That's all that matters is the knowledge gained.
Self-improvement.
Yeah, I'm on my way to an astrophysics degree.
I don't think that's how the degree program works.
You can see the one of the officers says, "We don't even have an astrophysics program."
Aren't you the Stargazers? Why the fuck wouldn't you?
Why would they?
What? Because stars.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would?
Isn't astro Latin for stars?
Yes, but it's a fish. If anything, marine biologist.
They got really mad when I called them the field squids.
Well, that's because you called them a squid. They aren't squids.
Aren't
You
they?
see
though?
one of the less formally dressed officers kind of speaks up and says, "Astrocopus goeticus is just called the Northern Stargazer. It's actually just a kind of a blobby fish that just it doesn't matter."
Intriguing.
What?
Well, I have a band.
Danny DeVito.
Yes,
Right,
Danny DeVito.
Hey, Do you guys know where these people are going to be? I'll hold up the Tomorrow Burns is Your flyer that I took off the window.
Their show will be in 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah, they had to push back because of a scheduling conflict. Apparently, they had added a date in California.
I don't know much about them, but I don't get the vibe that they would ever want to go to California. But thank you.
Are you sure? I thought that they were moving to that California record label.
No. I believe that they ended up relocating to like Washington State or something. I don't know. They got
Weird.
into some legal disputes up in Ohio.
Weird.
It's a little weird that they only play night shows.
Yeah, well, I mean that's common. They're artists. I
There
thought
always
it
seems to be
was.
something going on for them on Sundays.
Yeah, they never play Sundays for some reason.
Are we going
Maybe
to
they're
leave this
religious.
place, or should I raise it to the ground?
We're leaving.
Yeah.
Don't raise it to the ground. Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe they're religious. Maybe they're secretly all conservative Christians. That'd be funny.
Story guide. Just so you know, as we leave, I'll be exercising my my Keeper of Taboos boon for that whole exchange.
Outstanding. Cool. Yeah. For some reason, the cameras that are in the main office don't pick up any footage from this interaction. In addition, of course, these are trivial targets. They will be forgetting you very quickly. They will, however, not be forgetting Charles.
If it's a push door to exit, I'm going to pull it open. If it's a pull door, I'm going to push it open.
Noted.
What if
Yeah,
it's like one of those ones that swings both ways?
What if it's a rotate? What if it's
Drag it
a?
with me off the hinges?
Let me open it like a garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Majin.
Just some final words to the boss, to interrogator. That I don't know his name. Did he say his name?
On his card, it would have read Officer Collins.
Mr. Collins, give me a call sometime. All right.
I might do that.
Be free.
Ride safe.
Bye, guys. Thanks for the TV.
A few of them kind of muster up the courage to wave, and you can see someone kind of holds up the what looks like a small tablet device, and kind of shows up the footage of you racing Hermes, and says, "I'm catching up on it."
Spoiler, I won.
Damn it, dude! Why would you do that? He plugs his headphones back in. You guys depart from this place relatively intact. Charles, you pull the push door and kind of break the... now it's just kind of like free swinging on the single pin hinge.
They should probably get that looked into.
Yeah, it's been broken since I got here.
Reason enough for renovation.
There you go.
Charles Leon. We're going to make a fucking band.
Are we getting it? Dude, I don't know how to play anything.
Fantastic. You're going to be on the drums.
Sweet.
Now just raid the band hall for musical instruments.
Majin, it's been so long since I've seen you. How are you doing, dude?
I'm all right. Your name is Charles, right?
Charles, yeah. Charles Leon.
Charles Leon. Okay. Like you go by Charles Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's...
I
mean, the last time I saw you, you fell off a roof, so...
Yeah, I had to drop Skulson. Some dude kept showing up at my door saying I had a debt to pay.
Dude, I hate it when they do that.
Pay your debts.
I don't even remember meeting this dude.
Creepy dude smelled like tobacco.
Yeah, and gunpowder?
Yep. Just a typical debt collector, man. Trying to go around scam people.
Is that what they smell like?
Apparently.
Gross.
Sometimes sulfur.
Where are we going? What are we doing next?
So I don't look at Not Charles, but I definitely talk at him.
Mm.
And I will say, Charles Leon, I believe we may have a difference of opinion in what prioritization means.
Okay.
Tend to your monkey.
Oh, you want me to take care of that now?
That is what prioritization means. yes.
Sure. How long till the party, guys? I'll get this fixed before the party.
About an hour 15.
Probably about that.
Something like that.
Probably.
It was an hour
Probably.
45, 30 minutes ago, so hour 15.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Danny Vito's going to show up late probably, so you'll probably arrive the same time he does.
I'm gonna.
Party
Cool.
doesn't
I'm
start
gonna.
till Danny shows up.
I'm gonna tackle this monkey thing. You guys. I'll meet you guys at the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
He gives a wave, and begins to kind of run off into a direction. He's not really looking for anything too crazy.
I'll defer to Chim Chim on whether or not his replacement is satisfactory.
I feel like... Do you want him to get a better Muppet? Like,
No,
what,
we want
what is your goal?
actual monkey.
Yeah, but like, it's not going to be a magic monkey like Chim Chim unless
Wait, he has a monkey too?
he's got a sock puppet.
You
got
Oh,
guys.
that's pretty cool.
No, we could probably give him a magic monkey.
Uh,
I could do a monkey.
in the direction that that Not Charles ran off to, you guys see a lightning strike.
Oh,
Quickly followed by a second a little bit further away.
I feel like we should follow that.
I feel like that's... Did he get it? That I think he might have stolen that from Zeus.
Oh, hold up, what?
Well, I mean, that's very similar to Donnie's lightning.
Maybe it's just Donnie. How far
Yeah,
away
but
is this lightning strike?
it's moving further
he-
away.
Yeah, he ran off, and then the second lightning strike was a little bit further.
Oh,
Everyone can go
okay.
ahead, and if you guys would like to get some insight on it, give me cunning and whatever you guys would think you guys would need to see at a farther distance.
No,
3.
I got a 3. Anybody else rolling?
yeah.
not sure which of these would really contribute to seeing further away.
Survival, you can make an argument for firearms.
Oh yeah, firearms makes sense. 'Cause
It's all about seeing further away.
one.
You're muted.
Gideon.
I just generally assume that when I see lightning that another one of Zeus's cronies is coming after me, so I don't really need to roll.
Fair enough. So Majin, you see of your friends as you guys are going to peer off in the distance, you can see in the distance, it looks like Not Charles has tied himself to a bolt of lightning and withdrawn it. From his wrist, you can definitely see he's just being dragged by this bolt of lightning as it gets cast up into the sky, and he hucks it while he's in the air toward the ground to kind of drag him a little bit further. Kind of a what looks like it would be a painful means of travel, as he's kind of just being ragdolled by his right arm. But it's effective in the fact that he's getting further and further away rather quickly.
No disrespect, but I gotta say that's way more badass than a cloud. Just saying. Sorry.
What is?
He's fucking riding a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that does sound more badass than a cloud.
That is pretty badass.
That's fine.
Just saying. No disrespect.
None taken. I don't need to prove myself to a copy.
You should take it from him, honestly.
Now, I wonder if we could fuse you two together.
You, no.
No, like Dragon Ball, do the fusion dance.
Nope, absolutely not.
What do you have?
Like-
You're the one that said that was a little on the nose.
What do you have? Two faces.
That would be cool. You could have two faces, Charles.
Majin, you feel power welling up in your soul, in your spirit.
Oh, I forgot
There
about
is
this.
a burst of energy that is ready to come out. You have a quick moment to decide what you're going to do to channel this. Otherwise, this is going to be expelled in a probably a destructive fashion.
I don't know what to do. Can I imbue legends? All I have are imbue legend things. I don't have like spin legend.
Invoke your title.
You may of course invoke your title, and that allows
Oh.
you to cause some. That will allow you to spend a legend, and yeah, you'll be able to spend legend through that means.
You could use it to emulate. You could use it to emulate a boon that you would normally have to imbue for as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Use it to emulate a boon, you wouldn't have to imbue, and you would just have to like spend the legend to do
Yeah,
so.
you can also perform a marvel if you so choose. Marvels will commonly allow you to spend a legend. If you would like, rather than peeking through this, if you would like to say that you are going to expend a marvel and you don't want to peek through it and you just want to leave it to kind of story guide representation, by all means. If you don't have anything in mind, it's entirely up to you.
You could also summon equipment for no reason.
True.
Can we say that the blessing marvel that on the departing word of be free to Officer Collins that I was blessing him? Is that am I reading that right?
Yes, this is normally imbued. However, I will allow you to spend the legend if you want a greater effect on Officer Collins.
Yeah.
Cool. So what blessing? You could say be free. Mechanically, you're spending the legend to either grant enhancement to a single action or a specific type, or ignore up to 3 points of complications spread out across one or more actions. These benefits are lost if not used by the end of the scene. Spending the legend will increase that, so I won't have it lost by the end of the scene for this officer. For narrative, what would you like this to? What are you hoping to aim for with the words?
Whatever restrictions that he have in life that's keeping him from doing what he's doing, what he wants. I want those restrictions to lessen, so he could hopefully eventually break through them and do what he wants. Whether that's his job,
Mm-hmm.
just fucking him over, or whether it's his family understanding and supporting him in his ambitions, stuff like that.
So would
It's more
you
like resolving a condition is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Would you like Majin, would you like to know what happens? Or would you like to leave this a mystery? Or would you like to know what your blessing does for Officer Collins?
I'll leave it a mystery.
Understood. Officer Collins is blessed and will pursue his freedom a bit more fervently. Benefits will be applied to him, and his life will surely change due to your interaction with him. With that being said, I see this as an excellent space to take a brief break for tech and bio. We will be with you guys again very shortly. We're just going to, again, quick break for tech and bio, 7 to 10 minutes, and we'll be with you again. We'll see you very soon. Welcome back. We rejoin our Scions right where we left them, just outside the security department.
Cool.
Yeah.
Time skip to the party.
I'm good with a time skip to the party.
Yeah, as long as I got my bike and y'all got what we needed here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion that goes on between yourselves and Majin and Gregor, or rather Gregor and your allies, to clarify what happened and what you have found?
Found
I
an
would-
archaeological study in the basement of one of the buildings. Need to dig it up. Gonna take a couple of weeks. Cliff notes.
What did the book say? Isn't that what you came here for? Or
Yeah.
did you find a path or a way
So
to get there?
there is a way. He invited. It also was a clear invitation to me to come. So I think it was a trap that he set up a couple hundred years ago. So so let's deal with Man Speaker first, since he's a problem, and then maybe we can come back to that.
All right, beat up man speaker and then kick the front door to your tail. Cool.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Because if we just take him out, say we beat the front door down, we cause some problems, Man Speaker might just go rogue.
What manner of opposition could we imagine to encounter in this util?
Mental molestation, a series of unfortunate events, a play, no doubt. So expect tragedy of all kinds and humor.
Necromancy too, right? At least Phil
Phil
the whole
did a
undead
little bit of
thing.
necromancy, but he got that from Egypt.
Oh yeah, true. He stole that.
He wasn't. Expect tentacles. Tentacles, water, and the inhabitants of the city itself will likely be our opposition. I couldn't describe them in any meaningful way that'll help you. Besides, they will be strong.
The reason
And
I
the
ask,
color yellow.
I don't know if we feel at this point, do we have what we would need to effectively combat them if it came to it?
Oh, no, not at all. But we don't necessarily need to combat them. What we need to do is pacify for a time, and that's easier than defeating. Cause a problem, not a problem, because a problem has a single solution, but cause a conundrum, what's the word?
Just a disruption.
Yeah, so cause something to keep their minds off of others.
You wish to destabilize their environment.
Yeah, that should. If we can do that well enough, we will be able to slow him down, and that's the best we can hope for at this stage in our development.
Very well.
And this man speaker is a direct
Incarnation.
incarnation. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could kind of maybe glean what we're dealing with after dealing with him, what we might deal with in Yathil.
Yeah,
right?
if we can. I will be taking notes to see what he employs, because Phil isn't guaranteed to be a 1-for-1, but he should be more of a 1-for-1 for how he will act and
Let's
what
do it.
abilities he'll have.
All right, well, let's do it.
Excellent. You guys, we will time skip our way over to the party. Is there any preparation that needs to be done? I'm going to be adding a momentum for... Well, I'll add a momentum when we begin the party itself. Is there anything that you guys prep, just for my knowledge? Anything you guys do for pickup, for you guys bringing any of your own alcohol? Or is this going to be just, I brought Denny DeVito, you give me drinks?
For me, I will. So you know how I found everybody on Facebook, basically,
Yeah.
and other social media. I'm gonna just flip through, see if anybody of them are local, and send out random invites. See if I can make some friends.
So, I'm gonna require a roll for this because of the well, on Facebook it's it's the privacy settings basically. Posting on Reddit is going to be a little bit difficult just because again it's I'll tell you right now, your Reddit stuff is popping off the most. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories and a bunch of people that are just the shit posters of Reddit are latching onto your post. Facebook's kind of next in line. Facebook's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, Facebook's a nightmare, Tumblr's a nightmare, but they're all paying attention, and this is a point to show people at the party. The clever ones will figure out what the whole message is.
Excellent. So to decipher who's local, is going to be a roll. The result of the roll would depend on like basically who's got their privacy settings like not linked to like hometown and who actually managed to who updates their current location and such,
and who isn't foolish enough to like post I got into Miskatonic University for their family to see.
Yeah, and whose mom is like posting pictures of them and such.
Yeah, and pictures of them in their jersey. It's like,
yeah,
yep, they're tagged in that picture. No,
yeah,
they're here.
So go ahead and
give me. That's my biggest problem.
Go ahead and give me, go ahead and give me a roll of mental. I would assume intellect on this, and then whatever skill you would like for I would assume technology, but you can make an argument for whatever you'd like.
Technology makes the most sense for me. To me, I can't think of anything given that this is sheerly manipulating social media.
You could do subterfuge to dig into the lies of certain accounts and things.
That is fair. I'm trying to piece things together. So,
or culture for the internet culture. It's a shit culture, but it's there.
Let's do subterfuge. Four.
4. You find a number of individuals. I would say the first individual you find is Charles Leon. He's geotagging all of his locations. You can see he frequently winds up at the same place more than once. A lot of captions on his Instagram stating like, got lost, ended up back up at the same coffee shop. Lol, I live here now. He's geotagging things, it seems, for his benefit so he doesn't get lost, so he can remember things. Yeah, that's the first social media account that you're like, he's here. You figure out that he indeed also read your message and was in the middle of deciphering it, and when it looks like he just got bored and just left it in a pile. You find a number of other individuals on Facebook tagged by their mothers of like their acceptance letters, their jersey that they bought, things like that.
Those poor fools, their mothers don't even know what they are.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of information leaks via the mom network. I'll say as well, you gather about 5 individuals plus not Charles, and then what looks like a public post by a Facebook group, Tomorrow Burns Azure, stating that they were going to be late to, and then they tagged Miskatonic University as they've added some new dates in California and in Mexico for their tour. As well, there's a bunch of people that kind of like are tagged under that, and are not tagged under it, but comment under it, voicing their disappointment and such. They are sending. Apparently, it looks like they're sending their one of their band members ahead of schedule between tour dates. They'll be flying out alone to kind of oversee prep stuff. So band member Steven will be there beforehand. He might be here even now.
Interesting. Weird. Noted. Cool. Let's hope I can meet a couple of them at this party.
Excellent. Anyone else doing anything for preparatory work?
I'd like to just pick up some alcohol before going, because I figured, it would be kind of rude to not show up with, or to show up with nothing.
Understood.
Yes,
I will
bring Danny.
I will.
Is this?
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask Thalis, is this like your own brand? Is this like your? Oh.
I would want to bring the best shit I could find.
Okay.
I will say, this is a college party, so There are going to be people that are under legal drinking age likely attending. I'm not sure if that's a concern of your guys or not.
No, it's a college party. Everybody's 18 and older.
Yeah,
21 and older.
drinking age is not 18.
We're not in Germany,
Yeah.
but we could be.
We could take this party to Europe. European tour.
Yeah, so that's just something of note for the law, in case you guys are concerned with that.
I'd like to try and uninvite Mark Wahlberg.
How do you do this, Charles?
Add him on Twitter.
Okay. Please detail what happens. Take some creative control. What goes on? What do you say?
Oh, fantastic. Hey, yo, Marky Mark, you bringing the funky bunch, or are you just gonna come over and do nothing?
Mark,
You know what? Don't bother.
give me a I'm gonna give you free reign on this for your attributes. I'm gonna call this, yeah, I would assume manipulation, maybe cunning, and then whatever skill you would like to egg Mark Wahlberg into a reply. What are we doing here?
We're harassing Mark. We're harassing a fictional version of Mark Wahlberg, as portrayed by you, and I demand you do the voice
I'm not
when you
doing the
read when
voice.
you have his text.
Oh. How many channel points do I have to spend to get
God
you to
damn
do
it.
that?
Go ahead, Charles. Make your roll.
Fantastic. I'd like to do presents, because I'm also going to at everyone.
What do you mean at everyone, Charles?
I mean, I'm going to utilize the Twitter at everyone in addition to Mark Wahlberg.
You will eventually lose. You would have to do a twit longer to do a certain number of pass a certain number of characters. You'll be able to tag a
Do
significant.
at and then the word everyone.
That's not a thing. That's not a feature.
Okay.
I'm not fucking crazy, am I?
I feel like it's not a feature on Twitter.
It's definitely not a feature on Twitter. I got it. You got me
Unless-
doubting myself,
I
though.
feel like if somebody had the
Shut the fuck
handle
up.
anyone, then that person specifically would get tagged. But
Make your roll, Charles.
All right.
You
I'd like
can
to do.
go ahead.
I would like to tag Miskatonic University and anyone who I can see associated with such. And then I'd like to do. You know what? I'll just do some trash stats. Manipulation and culture.
Understood. I will say that you can indeed tag at everyone. It is not tagging everyone on Twitter. That would be fucking chaos. There is an account at everyone that has 22.7k followers.
That doesn't sound like everyone.
It's not everyone.
Yeah.
In like Wyoming, maybe.
No, I'll just tag everyone I can see from Miskatonic University.
You can tag
Mostly
the city government of where you guys
Yeah,
are. You
absolutely.
can tag the state government of Massachusetts, their official Twitter.
Full send. Out of my 2 dice, I got 2 successes.
Understood. You tag Wendy's, as they're commonly known for clapbacks. They assist. Wendy's assists in your shit talk. Mark Wahlberg replies eventually, "Yeah, I'll be there. What's your issue, guy?"
Don't bother being there.
There's a reply soon after this is, "Marky Mark always brings the party, baby. I'll be there."
It's not going to be a party if you come.
You can see the reply. It's just a thumbs up emoji, and then like a running man emoji. Charles, are you gonna fight Mark Wahlberg?
Is he not the one that was intended to bring the burgers? What will we do without the burgers if there are no
Mark
burgers?
Wahlberg?
There were
He was
mentions
the
of-
food guy.
He can bring food?
He
Yeah.
was the food guy.
He's bringing
What do you
Wahlburger.
mean he's the food guy?
He was bringing Wahlburger. He was the
What the
catering.
fuck is that? What is that?
That's his burger restaurant.
Why would you remove the caterer from the invite list?
I didn't know he was a... Are you catering?
You see, after like 20 more minutes, there's a picture reply of him standing like this, smug as can be, next to 2 semi-trucks filled with Wahlburger supplies.
No.
What have you done, Charles?
We'll find out.
Mark Wahlberg is not one to take slights lightly, so likely you will likely still send me the party. The repercussions of Charles's tweet war will soon be seen. Anything else before we kind of time skip to the party?
All I know is I've never had a Wahlburger, and I was not going to miss out. This is all part of my human experience.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Apparently it's a thing.
Like Charles didn't know it was a thing, or did Drew not know it was a thing?
Well, Charles didn't know, like, Mark Wahlberg as a person, like, just has no fucking idea who that is.
I was gonna say, Drew,
Drew's the
you
thing.
were.
I didn't know that it was annotated that he was bringing food.
Fair enough. I was gonna say, Drew, you were at Germany. We had a Wahlburger, dude.
Yeah.
There was Wahlburgers in Germany?
After you left. It was too
Largest
expensive
PX in the
and
world.
too expensive and far too much of a fucking line. Not worth it. Continuing on, Thalis, you had something?
Yeah, just wanted to get as much booze as we could to bring it to the party.
Absolutely, you can do this with Bacchus be there, if you so
Good
choose.
stuff, of course. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Excellent. So, with all that being said, you guys arrive at the fraternity house for Kappa Delta Rho, which is hosting this little soiree. I say little soiree, but as you guys arrive on scene, firstly, let's take care of your 8th momentum. Secondly, you guys arrive on scene. It is poured out of the fraternity house into neighboring homes that are just happy to be a part of the party itself. This is taken into a city block, 2 city blocks, now 3 city blocks. This is the largest party of Miskatonic University, catered, or rather put together by Bacchus be there. They have acquired some looks like stage equipment and have quickly assembled temporary stages for bands and for performers. You can see Deadmau5 is performing on one stage. Along a catty corner to that, you can see, looks like they're setting up still. Looks like that can't be the real Black Sabbath. But there's the logo of Black Sabbath. It must be a revival band. This is poured out into three blocks of a neighborhood. It is a party in the streets. Literally the street. You cannot drive a car here. The police have had to kind of accept this, as Bacchus be there has quickly acquired a permit for this, and have the police have put up road barricades so that no one drives through the entirety of a college party. In addition to this, you guys can see there are multiple semi-trucks by the police barricades that bear the Wahlburgers logo. Empty semis, and you can also see like food stands that have been set up that are selling Wahlburger.
I'm just gonna go up and grab like 2 fistful of Wahlburgers and just walk off.
The salesman kind of tries to shout out a spiel to you about Wahlburger and some of the nutrition facts. Do you stop and listen?
No, absolutely not. I just grab the burgers.
I do. I'm enraptured.
Cool. Gideon, you learn about Wahlburger, and the variation in how Mark Wahlberg began the company and wanted to contribute to better fast food, as the inclusion of the Impossible Burger helps to lead to a vegetarian option for those that still want to enjoy the flavor of his specific brand of spices and such. Yeah, you're learning a lot about Wahlburger. Taking everything at face value, the salesman paints Mark Wahlberg as a great man.
I'm going to try one of these Wahlburgers.
Got it. You do this. I'm not going to ask you which one you try. The standard Wahlburger is a burger. It's very good. I mean, like, that's how I would classify it.
To be fair, this is, so as far as Gideon's concerned, this is the first thing that he's eaten since the Danish that is not from his belt pouch.
Excellent.
So this is the second thing on earth that he's eaten.
Then in that case, I would say that the concoction of flavor here is a dance of new sensation. The grease, the salt, the addition of lettuce and tomato and such. These are all flavors that bounce off one another and contribute very well to one another's sensation. It's very good. It's very new. This is probably maybe not the best food you've had. The Danish was pretty damn good. It's definitely in a different category than the Danish, though. Obviously, the salty and savory compared to the sweet. What does Gideon prefer, the Danish compared to the sensation of burger?
Well, I don't know that there's a preference, really. It's an experience. However, taken as he is with the experience, is the purveyor about?
Mark himself?
Mm-hmm.
Salesman tells you he's around, he's enjoying the party. He'll likely be taking the stage to promote the stands and where you can find him.
There'll be no need for personal interaction. Simply enlighten him to the fact that his contribution to the earthly experience is noteworthy, and I will mark it as such on this occasion. And I spend a point de legend to cause an upheaval.
What does that mean, Gideon?
It means that the perimeter around the 3-block area of the party is going to erupt with live volcanic, like, lava geysers while the party's going.
Excellent. So this is now surrounded by like a sort of kind of moat of magma situation.
Not a moat, but just, the occasional, like, Old Faithful spout.
Nice.
Shooting
Yeah, like
into the air.
fireworks. You're providing fireworks. Sort of
Yes,
thing, right?
but
Magic
they're-
fireworks.
but they're lava and smoke, yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's
I feel like the semblance of it's reminiscent to me. It's my tribute to the grill, if you will.
I like it. I like it a lot. There is screams that quickly turn into cheers as this new pyrotechnic feature accompanies Dead Mouse's set on stage. Dead Mouse, being a quick thinker and a skilled DJ, sort of takes the moment of the eruption to kind of silence all music and then hit a drop. There is an eruption of sound as the magma kind of spills out and flows freely. People are like, that's can't be. Son of a bitch, it's real! You have magma.
Yes, but it's not going to invade the party. It's traveling away from the party.
Yeah.
Excellent. I will say drunken idiots will be drunken idiots. So yeah, there are going to be people that they're like, that can't be. Give me your shoe, dude. And then they just dip shoe into magma and go, sick.
Oh man, now I've only got one shoe.
Well,
Gotta take the other one off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
The other one in there.
you're aware, when the party is over, what they will find is the scarification of the ground is going to be in a giant Wahlburger logo when we leave.
Satellite
That is
image of
beautiful.
Wahlburger's logo. I fucking dig it. Fantastic. Yeah. You guys join the party. It is I can't. This is massive. Bacchus be there has surely outdone themselves. You think? Let's have everyone give me a roll of cunning and then something, whatever skill you want to use to notice something, to notice notice something interesting.
I tend to use integrity for any sort of investigative thing. Would that be appropriate?
By all means.
I dropped a dice.
So this is kind of just picking up like general, just kind of all these different things going on in the party. Is empathy all right?
I like it.
Okay.
4 successes.
4 successes.
3 over here.
Let's go one by one actually. Starting with Charles, 3 successes.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. You are perusing through the party, and you notice a group of people that are kind of surrounded in a posse around a young man, tattooed, sort of not terribly long blonde hair with a hat kind of tilted up. You recognize the individual as a popular pop star, Justin Bieber.
I'm gonna slap him.
Noted. You push back the posse, and I gotta ask, front hand or backhand?
Yes.
And I managed to catch this on camera.
Tail.
I will allow you to
World star.
you run up and smack Justin Bieber, much to the chagrin of a lot of his posse, who kind of shove you back and are now looking for a fight, Charles. We'll get back to the Justin himself is a little I say a little irritated. But we'll get back to that very shortly. Gideon, the result of your roll?
Oh, I didn't make one. Sorry, what was I rolling?
Whatever you need to notice something interesting and cunning. Whatever skill you need, and then cunning.
Probably. Probably subterfuge. If something is trying to remain hidden.
Understood.
Notice things that are generally unseen. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Is it not rolling?
It says rolling the dice.
Hmm.
Oh, 2.
Ah, there we go.
So let's see, 1 more. Roll 20 is taking its sweet ass time.
No worries.
2 so far with an explodey.
Copy that.
0. So 2 more. So just 2.
2. You can see an individual kind of keeping lower key. The individual is dressed rather casually. She is blonde of hair and kind of tied up into a messy bun, wearing a hoodie, just kind of walking around. You don't recognize who this is, but some people kind of stop her and go, "Are you?" And then there's like a hush tone. Yeah, but you, unless calling it out to another one of your friends, wouldn't know who this is.
So I will simply, I haven't socialized without threatening people yet, so I figured I might as well try something else new. So I will grab a burger with my other hand and continue eating the one that I have. And if I have to eat with the mask up, so it's just kind of like perched, right? And I will walk over to the person and offer them a Wahlburger.
Takes the burger from your hand and says, "Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks."
You seem to be someone of note. Who do these people think you are?
Oh, they're mistaken. They mistaken me for an actress.
Oh. Who are you?
I'm Emma. It's good to meet you.
You as well. Have you had these Wahlburgers before?
A couple times, yeah.
They remind me of home.
Oh, it's interesting. Where's home? Are you from near where Mark is from?
It's the charred flesh, really. I continue chewing my burger.
Oh, cool. Thanks for the burger. I'll see you in the party, I guess.
Perhaps you will, perhaps you won't.
Cool. She kind of quickly makes her exit. Yeah. You've had a personal interaction with an individual named Emma. Yeah. I would say being so close, Gideon, you can definitely see that the blonde hair is peeked out through red roots. Yeah. Gregor, the result of your roll.
5.
5 successes. Keeping your head on a swivel in this now crowded area, Gregor. You see an individual who is not being conspicuous at all, or rather inconspicuous at all. You see an individual likely that you would recognize. Darker hair, kind of not slicked back, but just brushed back. Sunglasses on, in a relatively decent suit that's kind of been loosened tie and such. You recognize the individual as Robert Downey Jr.
The guy from Tropic Thunder, right? Yeah.
That's
I say to some
the
guy.
poll. That's
I
the
say to some guy.
response you get from somebody. That's who you're pulling. That's the movie you're choosing. That's who you're pulling that from. You're not gonna. That's Tony fucking Stark, man. But all right.
And we live in a world where gods exist. What does that matter?
Robert Downey Jr. is a god. What do you mean?
Be careful what you say. And I look up.
Robert Downey Jr. Dude, I don't give a fuck. Clearly is drunk, and he looks up at the sky and says, "Let all who know that RDJ is the better god of all pantheons."
I don't think.
That's a thing that has been said.
Yep. I'm gonna move away from that guy.
Fair enough.
And I expect lightning to strike him from several different sources, and then just wander off looking for the people I actually am looking for here.
Excellent. Majin, the result of your roll.
4.
4. So you see an individual as well that you immediately recognize, trying to keep a little bit more low key, oversized zip up jacket with a hood up, kind of a popular, not like an off brand or anything like that. Definitely like more expensive. I don't know expensive clothing, guys. I'm so sorry. Baggier pants. She is thin. She's almost she's a darker skinned woman. She's got straight black hair. You recognize Rihanna very quickly.
Is that Riri?
That question is heard by people around you. People start to peek around and say, "Where?"
Over there. I'm pointing in the opposite direction.
Very quick. Oh, in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
People start to kind of push in that direction. The woman herself kind of peeks up. You can see she's got a hat over underneath the hood itself. Kind of looks around and kind of is trying to peek, and then just goes back to her drink. And
I walk up to her and say, "You're welcome."
She kind of gives you a wink and like a little snap, and offers to buy you a drink.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I'll take a drink. Yeah.
Understood.
Cool.
Majin having a drink with Rihanna will be... What does this game turn into? Back at me there is a chaotic nightmare, and I regret...
You're welcome.
I regret everything. Thalis, the result of your original roll. 2. Again, another individual that is not trying to hide himself at all, and is very difficult to be hidden, in fact. Rather large, almost looks a little like Gideon if he was less titanic, if Gideon was smaller in both stature and size. Really the only time this individual has been comparatively small. This is Dwayne Johnson.
I suppose my first question is going to be, does this gentleman already have a drink? And if he doesn't, then I'm going to give him just going to give him a whole bottle of some Dionysus wine.
Excellent. He does not have a drink, or rather, not an alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
What looks like he's has a black can. There seems to be some sort of almost tribal-esque symbol on it. I would say you probably recognize this, and with Bacchus be there in the background of like of organizing parties, you recognize this as Zoa. This is Dwayne Johnson's energy drink. Not sponsored, but we should be.
I did not know he had an energy drink until now. So.
Not a whole lot of people do.
Learning all sorts of things today. Stay in school, kids. There's parties there.
But you offer him a drink. He very quickly as he takes it, and he kind of points at you and says, "You're the guy that you're tied to Bacchus be there, aren't you?"
You could say that.
Oh, well, come on. Let me buy you a drink. Let's have a talk.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't need much convincing. Let's get that drink.
Excellent. Thalis now split off to talk to Dwayne Johnson. So we got Thalis talking to Dwayne Johnson. This is so fucking weird. Thalis talking to Dwayne Johnson. MAJIN talking to Rihanna. Gregor avoiding an individual who claimed that RDJ was a god among men. Gideon having spooked
He's gonna get
Emma.
smited.
He
He might have got RDJ smited.
Oh no! What have we done? Charles, you've just smacked the shit out of Justin Bieber.
Yes, absolutely. And then I would like to accept a fate binding of him as my nemesis. And then I would like to immediately use that legend for a marvel.
Mechanically, this is allowed, but I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Then say no, because you have that power.
No, I like them. I don't. Oh God, I hate this. By all means, you can have Justin Bieber as a nemesis. What's up, MAJIN?
We could just accept fate bindings.
Yes, you guys can accept fate bindings. Once per session, you can accept fate bindings. Yeah, you thought so. You're going to be tied to Rihanna. Once per session. And that's to regain a legend. So, Charles, you accept a fate binding to JB as your nemesis. This is so fucking strange. And then what marvel do you want to immediately perform as you are overfilled with power from this, as a legend is reinstituted into yourself?
I would like to utilize the marvel of upheaval to drastically change the environment.
Okay, so for detail, I'll just fully read Upheaval. Upheaval, spend one legend to make a dramatic change to the terrain or circumstances of a scene. Set a building on fire, call down a rainstorm or spread some love. Depending on what you're doing, it'll add a significantly advantageous feature to the field the scene is set in. Create difficult terrain or a hazard. Create an obstacle that imposes +3 complication on anyone caught in it, or other dramatic large-scale effects. What is the upheaval you want to cause, Charles?
I'm going to spread love in the way that Charles spreads love. And whole fight.
So
everyone's just going to immediately want to fucking throw hands.
I'll remind you, because this was Gideon also performed a marvel that was within his purviews and such. A marvel is tied to your purview and a purview that you're going to use for this, and a motif. So what purview are going to use to perform this marvel?
Tianming, if at all possible. If not, then I would like to use my.
I can see Tianming.
If I use Tianming, do I have to use my Pantheon's motif, or can I use a motif from my weapon?
This is usually tied to your Pantheon specific motif, with the Pantheon's motif. But I will, I say I will. It is also allowed to use a relic motif as well. So, what relic motif would you like to use?
I would like to use the motif tied to my sword. My great work, my mode of operation and conjunction of my mind's blade, and an edge to rend the flesh, life by the sword to also perish by the sword.
Okay, so
Or
your
verbatim, it's all in Latin verbatim. It's a magnum opus momodus operandi. It's amalgam to mentis inum gladi, gladienum carnum, vivo ferum, ferum imperit.
So your motif and your Panther are going to define the limitations of this marvel. What do you want this marvel to do?
Want everyone just have a good old-fashioned tavern brawl.
I think that this kind of goes exactly against Tianming, which isn't necessarily bad. That is actually a factor of what these marvels can do, to define the sort of upward movement of it. So yeah, you want to erupt a fight in this portion of the world, in this portion of this party? Just a giant... All right, just a giant beatdown. Cool. You do this. Take some narrative control. How do you do this? What does this marvel look like? You are immediately filled with power as you fate bind yourself to JB. Take some narrative control, Charles. What happens?
What's throw a Chim Chim at him.
You throw a Chim Chim at him.
Yeah, I throw a Chim Chim at JB, and then I immediately tackle his little gaggle of onlookers and just start throwing hands. Start throwing them in miscellaneous directions. Just throwing them into other neighboring crowds.
Excellent. So, you do this. You chuck the monkey at JB, who starts to kind of hit him a couple times, and then Chim Chim leaps onto someone else's shoulder, kind of giving them a punch as they go. Chim Chim kind of picks up what you're putting down and starts to like leap from shoulder to shoulder, punching people in the face, causing people to like turn around drunkenly and be like, "Did you fucking hit me?" And it just becomes a massive brawl in this area. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening here.
Yes.
Is this spreading throughout the entire?
Not throughout the entire. I would say that about half this block is going to be place here nearby. This will likely get taken care of, at least attempted to be taken care of relatively quickly. It is a marvel, so it's going to last a little bit long. I'm going to say it's going to reach the edge. Go ahead, Majin.
Is Riri in danger?
Not immediate danger. You have time to interact if you'd like to do so.
I'm gonna do a knack and use spend the momentum on Riri so she cannot be touched. Spend momentum and designate one person to be immune to all sorts of damage until the end of the session.
Excellent. Just take some narrative control, Majin. You use this knack. Treasured Rihanna is not going to be touched, but what does that look like? Do people just happen to miss her when they throw a punch, or is this like you kind of are you personally intervening and kind of blocking attack and kind of ushering her to safety?
Yeah, up to the point of initially, but then once I'm separated, it's just like, you know, probably almost like THALIS and his chaos purview. Everything just seems to go right past her.
Understood. You do this, to which she is extremely grateful. She was trying to be more low key, so the nicer hoodie and like the sort of name brand clothing she wears is still present, but most people here are kind of like, oh, that person just has money, and they don't kind of like peer too much under the hood and the hat. So she would have been subject to damage. But you guide her to safety, to which she is extremely grateful. Gregor, Gideon, you guys can see a fight spreading throughout the crowd.
Like, am I in immediate danger?
I'm going to say yes. This was a Marvel. This was used specifically for the Marvel of Upheaval. I'm going to say yes.
Okay, well, I'm still looking for people, so I guess I'm going to have to do something about that. Cool. Among the stars, I'll spend a momentum, to become a star monster.
What the fuck does that do, Gregor? Let's do some details. This is your first time using this?
Okay, so among the stars, I'll roll an axe film roll and spend a momentum. Number turns equal to successes. Take the form of stars, adopting a bleak void in space. Distant stars allows me to sit through this. Fit through the smallest cracks and shore up the largest areas. Weapon attacks bend away from you, metal wraps around me, and all that. Fists are slowed to complete stop before they touch me, and that's what I'm relying on here.
Excellent. You do this. Take some narrative control, Gregor. What does it look like? Take some. What do you look like? What is the effect here?
All right, so first things first, spend a momentum, and then I'm going to do that next skill roll. Let's see. You good with me using intellect? And I don't know, what would be a good one for this?
I would see survival.
Okay, intellect and survival. That's a 10. That's another 10. Wait, stop it. I didn't need this much. Okay, fine. So that's 7 successes because of that 10. Okay. So I've got a glass eye, but the rest of me, besides my clothes, becomes a bleak void, a star. A pinpoint star takes where my eye is. If you look at me, you are seeing actual space relative to you, besides upon my face, and the glass eye is hovering in the void there. And my clothes are seemingly unaffected, but will retain benefits.
You do this. People immediately kind of draw away from you and go, whoa, and then they kind of move in. Those that are not associated with the fight kind of touch, and it kind of just forces their hands back. And they're like, that's fucking cool. And so people kind of try to dogpile you a little bit, and you're able to freely move through spaces. People are kind of like leaping, falling.
Just vanish, just move through the smallest of crevices between them, looking for the individuals I summoned here.
Excellent. There is a individual on stage that kind of points out and speaks into the mic and is like, "We got a Scion in the house. Get on stage, man."
I look up with my star void thing, and then just keep going, drifting.
You immediately this dude immediately begins a chant of "Party Pooper." So you hear "Party Pooper," and then just everyone's not talking shit, but it's just a chant, and they would really like if you got on stage.
I'm not bothered by it. I've got people to see.
Fair enough. You do this. Majin, I would say it's over a loudspeaker that it is known that the Scions are present at this party. Gideon, what are you up to?
So after my brief interaction, I think I've come to understand now that these burgers can serve as a suitable introductory mechanism to continue to interact with humans. So I will take up a post on the opposite side of the service table without being asked, and will distribute Wahlburgers.
Excellent. You immediately, people are like, "Whoa, you can't really be volunteers are always welcome, man." And they kind of run you through the process of just like the burgers are free at this point. They will begin charging later in the night if stock begins to run a little bit low. But yeah, through this time, Gideon, you have interactions with individuals, with a lot of these college kids and a lot of these people that have come from states over. You have interactions with humanity and people. It's interesting. People will comment on your size. People comment how you're really jacked for a salesperson or for a burger flipper. It's interesting. People aren't running. People aren't screaming. People aren't like.
Are they prepping them here?
Yeah, there's the frozen bit of Wahlburger and such. There's already stuff, of course, stuff that was pre-made and whatnot.
Okay, so what I'll be doing then is using, I'll be using, as opposed to taking up space on their grill, I'll be utilizing my primal flame to properly cook these hamburgers.
Excellent. Primal flame. Give me a little bit of detail about primal flame. This may affect certain quality.
The fire epicenter provides me with basically a flame that just suffuses my being. Like the whole world is my tinderbox. So I will, now that I have more control over the gauntlet, I will basically line up like a line of burgers across the gauntlet, cook them, toss them to the other one to flip them, cook them there, and then I will distribute them onto buns. I'm not good at building things in general, so I will likely refrain from assembling the burgers on my own.
Fair enough.
But I will simply cook patties and then hand them to the people that are making the burgers, and then I will hand the burgers to people.
Excellent. You do this. I'll allow some narrative stuff to this as well. This is going to change some flavor a little bit. Gideon, what do you add to this? What do you, if you would like to add anything at all, that is.
I mean, so I don't know that necessarily there. If I will sear the guilt from them.
Nice. I dig it.
These burgers and those who eating them will not be plagued by thoughts of Tartarus for the time being.
Excellent. All manner of guilt is free of this burger. Those that are watching their meal plan or their diet kind of take it a little bit sheepishly, and then they take a bite into it and they say, tomorrow's another day. We don't dwell on today. This will be fine. No more guilt for these individuals. You can see, Gideon, a number of individuals come up to you as they're collecting burger, and they recognize you. These are individuals from the hallway that they in this moment think they recognize you, I should say, from the interaction that was in the hallway with the student aid and such. Yeah, it's gathering up some individuals that are in the moment fans of yours.
Okay. Yeah, I will allow them to basically a moment if they want to tell me anything about themselves and their troubles, I will hear them out. But yeah, I'm not I'm basically, my focus right now is on alleviating the oppression of hunger and munchies from these poor party saps.
Excellent. Yeah, you absolutely do so. There's a lot of people that reek of sort of like it may have been sprayed by skunk that keep coming by for more burger and more burger and more burger. Yeah, you are assisting with the life of the party. Gregor, you're moving through. Charles, you have erupted into a fight. We will get back to the two of you very shortly. Let's touch on THALIS and then MAJIN. THALIS, let's begin with you. You're having a conversation with Jane Johnson.
Yeah, Jane Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson.
Okay.
Apologies.
Yeah. So, quick question. With all that chaos going on, how far away are we from this? Is it something that we're at least aware of? This
is absolutely something you're aware of. It is okay. Sort of spreading like a plague, like an epidemic just throughout the crowd. The outer ring is closing in on you and Dwayne Johnson.
I imagine people just get touched and it's like, we got a pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely would like to try and make some duplicates of myself here to kind of help get some people out of harm's way, really.
Do you want to try to contain the upheaval into an area?
Not necessarily contained, but more so if people need a venting point to escape said thing, then at least kind of control traffic so that they can.
Excellent. So
If that makes sense.
let's have you roll that for your making of duplicates.
Can you spend some momentum while you're at it, please?
I was actually just about to ask that.
You guys are at 8.
Spend a whole bunch.
I thought we were at 7.
We
because
yeah,
Gregor-
we were at 6 because MAJIN spent 1 and I spent 1.
Apologies.
We've spent
So
we've spent
for
2
among-
this scene.
For Among the Stars and for Varga, yes?
They cannot be touched, but yeah, I
They
did
cannot
spell
be
one.
touched.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We have
yeah,
2
I'd like to spend at least 3 if that's all right.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So that'll take us down to 3 momentum.
3 momentum expended.
Given that you're making multiple rolls for each one, did you want to divide that up?
What do you mean?
Because you have to.
I mean,
Because doesn't he make a roll for and it only makes 1?
There is no. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Thalis. It doesn't say how many duplicates you make, or is it just one? Does it just say 1 duplicate?
It does say make a knack skill roll, and with any successes, make an exact copy of yourself.
Okay, so 1 will
So-
be joined. I will.
But
Let's have the
you have
first
had-
roll first, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Real quick, is this you're using momentum to make copies?
Yes.
That would
Okay.
be the thing, but given the knack skill roll only needs 1 success.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, okay. So
Well, my question was before that. I forget exactly when this had happened, but there was one time because I was trying to make so many where you had it just the number of successes equaled the number of copies.
He
Yeah,
did do
so
that.
we are going to. So that's why I asked for just to take the roll, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Sorry.
then I want to use my innate power to double the momentum bonuses.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
that'll be 6 momentum expended. So a single success will grant you 6. Or I'm sorry, you're granting 6 extra die to your roll.
5 material successes, and then we'll go ahead.
6 more die.
Yeah.
Really good off the top.
Add another 1 to that.
Gotcha.
Another
So
1
we got.
success.
So with Majin using his ability, you have 6 successes. I'm gonna allow you to make 12 copies. Just rapid fire, pushing things out in this moment to help contain and allow people some space if they want to move away from the party. You can form a perimeter if you so choose.
It's a mosh pit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can dig it. 12 copies is definitely more than I was hoping for, so that's good.
Just in time too, as you're kind of duplicating yourself, Chim Chim, you can see leaps onto Dwayne Johnson's shoulder and then looks at him, thinks about it, and then punches him in the cheek and then quickly jumps over to someone else's shoulder.
Can you smell what he's cooking?
God damn it. Dwayne doesn't look too bothered by it. Just kind of rubs his cheek. It's just weird.
Good.
What is the conversation that you and Dwayne Johnson have? He's interested in your business. He's interested in probably maybe like a partnership deal between Bacchus Be There and the energy drink company.
Yeah, no, I think that would be something that we could definitely push because Monsters kind of had that whole monopoly on things for quite some time. I mean, others have popped up along the way, but for starters, we're not naming anything super creatine. Like that's not going anywhere on the can.
Excellent. Cool. Would this be the conversation? Kind of drifts to some business and such. You guys end up sitting at a bar, sharing some drinks and such. Thalis,
Yes.
make a roll Let's have you.
What would you like?
Anything in your mental arena, and then any skill you think you could use for business savvy.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I'm actually thinking cunning and persuasion here.
I like it. Fitting, very fitting. I like it a lot.
4 successes.
4 successes. Thalis, he's heard of you through Backasby there. Conversation leads into partnering Zoa with Backasby there. However, this is an option for you. You've been thinking about this for some time, that you might want to venture out on your own. Get out from under Dionysus's business and corporation. Start something of your own, some of your own income.
Yeah.
This is an excellent opportunity to branch out. You would still have Backasby there to fall back on and to help back your integrity. But with cunning and persuasion, you could possibly persuade Dwayne Johnson to help you back your own sort of party business if you so choose. Something to rival Backasby there, or even have Zoa backed by Backasby there and have it be like the signature drink of the company, but also work with Jane Johnson on your own flavor or your own style of energy drink. Maybe something that's an offshoot of Zoa.
Yeah. I really like the sound of that.
And with the number of successes you receive, so does he. So you are in talks and to create your own line of business, your own line of income outside of Backasby there.
The Party Palace of Thalis, baby.
Party Palace of Thalis. Oh my god.
I like it.
That's a good one.
I like
That
it.
is good. That is good.
Also rhymes with Thalis, just saying.
Excellent. So that is what Thalis you're up to, Majin. You are ushering a treasured pop star or treasured musical star away from from danger. Is there anything else you'd like to do once they're out of danger?
Yeah, coming back to the keepers in mind. This probably be. I don't know if this is. I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't know if this is how they want it to be done, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna make like a little video. Tag all the celebrities in it and stuff like that, and just show everything that's going around. I'm gonna keep my face out of it though, and it's just gonna be an inspirational message to the people, that that this is the fun you could be having if you choose it. Live your life.
Choose humanity.
Yeah, be free. And just remember that this is your world. Gods and Scions, we're just living in it.
Mercilessly.
To show their appreciation, Rihanna is going to appear on video for you and help kind of generate hype in the message and whatnot. She will also accept being tagged in the video. There's a conversation that takes place beforehand, like right before you begin filming. She's going to place her hand on your wrist. Do you want to be shown? Do you want to be tied to this?
There'll probably be a glimpse of my face in it. Maybe a quick at the starter. And then it'll be more of an outward video or whatever Rihanna does with it. Because it's not about me. It's about the people.
Excellent. At the end of your message, or at the end of your kind of voiceover and such, the inspirational video, you pan over to her, and she talks about a negative implication of the party. There was indeed, as most things do, the bad of humanity is a fight broke out. However, the good of humanity is that a young stranger, a young hero, came to her aid and made sure that she was not affected by that thing, ushered to safety, and and brought into, you know, a safer area. She doesn't mention your name, but she mentions that it was just a young man who had good in his heart. So a very inspirational video all around. Gregor, very quickly, you are moving through this space. You are on the hunt for certain individuals. Let's have a cunning and whatever you think you need to notice these individuals.
Well, my go-to detective is integrity. Would that be okay? Or would you prefer something like occult, given the nature of them?
I can see both, but it is your choice.
I'll do integrity. Is that leaning on my PI background? That's a 10. Cool. 5 successes.
5 successes. You see individuals that are kind of outliers. There's individuals that wouldn't normally show up to these types of parties. You can see them; they're kind of socially awkward, not really talking to much people. They may have drinks in their hands, but they're kind of spread throughout, and they're kind of watching, and they look at the star stuff that is moving through the space, and there's a glint in their eye as they smile and recognize they think they found what they're looking for.
And I will beckon them to follow.
And as these individuals begin to follow the star stuff that is drifting through this 3-block wide party, metal music begins to play as a mosh pit is now contained and formed and properly sustained, with Charles and Justin Bieber in the center of it all. And that is where we will end tonight's episode of Scion Godsend. This is wild, and I was not expecting this.
We got the guy from Tropic Thunder smited.
Not the
Dr. Doolittle smited.
Oh,
isn't that great?
Dr. Doolittle. Wow.
Tropic Thunder is respect, though. He's playing multiple roles in that movie.
Yeah. We got Dr. Doolittle smited.
Dr. Doolittle. Dear God.
No, he didn't play the Dear God.
Tom Holland's pseudo dad. Wild, absolutely wild. Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Before I get into Rolling Nomad stuff, does anyone have anything to plug?
No,
Not yet.
No. Not yet.
I don't like the way I don't know what that means or what.
TM.
I'm waiting until I'm done.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. We, of course, have been the Rolling Nomads. Found on Twitter at _Rolling Nomads, which is the best way to keep up to date with our schedule, our late starts, our cancellations, any new programming we might come out, any vacations that we might be taking.
You don't take vacations?
I am taking vacation. At _Rolling Nomads on Twitter. You can find us, of course, right here every Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Scion Godsend. Clearly, it's getting a little bit crazy. Charles just fate-binded Justin Bieber. Or rather, Justin Bieber is, just fate-bound Justin Bieber and is now inexplicably and just tied by the strings of fate to Justin Bieber.
There are worse people to be fate-bound too.
I am certain that that'll be just fine. 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Scion Godsend right here on twitch.tv/theonyxpath. And then 2 hours after this, over on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads is our D&D campaign, Colder Than a Twitch's Wit, ran by our beloved David, who plays Thalis, and with myself and Gregor as I'm hoping a good relationship. It sounds nightmarish, but we'll see.
That's a pretty good relationship. I worship the ground you walk on.
I don't like that. We will see where that goes, but you can join us at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time over on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads for our D&D campaign, Colder Than Twitch's Wit. My things are going off. Throw me off. God. We do a gaming stream normally on Wednesdays. We're actually going to be skipping that stream this coming week because I am going to take a vacation. I'm going home for the holiday. Gonna go be with my family from Tuesday to Saturday for Thanksgiving. And then when we come back, we'll be moving that gaming stream back over to our normal Monday start time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's kind of our game of the week or game and such. We are going to peer pressure Edge to join us again. He's adamantly said that he's not going to play Terraria with us because he fucking hates us.
If he doesn't want to play Terraria, we can play something like, I don't know, have you ever played Space Engineer's Edge?
Like Terraria.
I join. I am in the chat.
You don't play with us. You don't play our reindeer games with us. But we'll figure it out. But that's going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Mondays, twitch.tv/RollingNomads is for our gaming stream. And then Fridays, we have our Sabbat Chronicle. Normally, it is over. At least Season 1 is. 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is normally our Sabbat Chronicle. However, we just wrapped up our Season 1 finale. They completed their profane and unspeakable ritual and are now tied together, having going through the similar trials of Cain, and possibly maybe seen some things in the oblivion and in the shadows. Who knows? Zealots are crazy, so you never know what's really real.
The myths are real.
The myths are real. Yeah, but that's end of Season 1 currently right now. We'll be updating you guys over on our Twitter about what's to come for Season 2 and what will be in between. We might see some kindred that are affected by the Sabbat pack in Mexico City, and how they deal with the reemergence of the Sabbat that are pushing so hard for domain once again. That's us in the handbasket on Twitch. You can find episodes of Scion, Godsend, and Colden on Twitch's Wit over on our YouTube, youtube.com/RollingNomads. All episodes are up to date for Colden on Twitch's Wit and Scion, Godsend. These episodes, Scion, Godsend, and Colden on Twitch's Wit, will be going up every Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm setting a time for myself. I promise you it'll be up by 7 p.m. Yeah. And that's over on our YouTube channel. Book of Saints, our Sabbat Chronicle, will be up in a mass upload in the coming week, maybe a week and a half, depending on me working on stuff during vacation. We'll see. That's our Twitch, our Twitter, our YouTube. That's us in a handbasket. Me and myself have been Gilbert Ramos. You can find me everywhere on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all the things under the name @Ramos the Nomad. I will say, with the implosion of Twitter and with the end seemingly on the horizon, I'm not sure what the future holds, but it is now more important than ever that you give us a follow elsewhere aside from Twitter, and follow us on other platforms, because God knows what's going to go on with that hell site now. Follow us
over to Tribal Social.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, give us a look on our Instagram. Will you start using our Instagram more? We'll start using, obviously we have stuff on Twitch and YouTube, and that's the best way to keep up to date with us at this point. Twitter's doing weird shit, and we don't know what the future holds. So if you want to support us and keep up to date with us, all of our socials are on our Twitch. Yeah, we appreciate each and every single one of you. Does anyone have last minute plugs? Anything?
I don't exist.
Yeah, you guys are okay.
As the unofficial brand manager of all things Thalis, in addition to the Party Palace of Thalis, shouts out to the Bottomless Chalice of Thalis and the Cialis Phallus of Thalis, which is their sex work division.
Business is booming.
This is
What about
quickly.
mental fallacies?
We are going, guys. The things you say have repercussions. This could quickly become canon.
Oh, so we should say more.
Goodbye.
You don't like the Cialis Phallus of Thalis?
The Cialis. What? We'll see you guys next time. Same place, same time, same science. We'll see you soon.